Okay, we're here at the shack of N6XCR. And good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Bruce.
And this is Bruce N1BN at the camera. We're going to just give you a quick little tour on some of Jim's radios and some of the special modifications we've done in order to make them easier for him to use. Why don't we start with your handheld? Why don't you turn on the handheld? So
Okay, I sure will, Bruce. 15.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's see what kind of radio.
Okay.
Whoops. Okay, that's the Woshan. It's one of the Chinese-made radios, and it's a nice radio for Jim because it's channelized and it speaks the channel numbers out. I also done a little modification so the batteries don't fall off easily. I put a little dab of epoxy glue here at the battery release both sides, and so you know you don't have the VFO controls to deal with that might cause trouble.
15, 14, 13, 12.
So it's a great operational radio, and they're reasonably priced too. Let's take a look at some of his base rigs here. Jim's got a Uniden HR 2600 10 meter radio, and all of his base radios are mounted on this platform so they keep them in a stable manner so they're not sliding all over the desk, and there's rubber feet on the bottom of the platform. So with the Uniden, we've got a plastic faceplate here which limits access to some of the buttons. And we've got little holes drilled over some of the buttons so they can still be operated. And some of the controls are accessible, some aren't. And it's using a normal hand microphone attached to that. And out on the balcony, he's got an MFJ apartment antenna, which works pretty well with this Uniden radio. For 220, the 222 band, he's got a classic Midland 13509 crystal radio, which here in California, it's on the Condor connection, channel 1. It's on the Condor connection. In fact, and I put a little notch here on the tuning knob so he can tell where channel 1 is. You can feel when that notch is in the upper position. And of course, being a crystal radio, there's no way it can get, put out of on the wrong operating mode. And then his most advanced radio here on the base station is the Kenwood TM71. And here again, we've done some little face plates to control access to some of the buttons. And they can still be operated because there's little holes drilled over the buttons there. And it's a clear plastic too that's held on with a 3M double stick tape like they use in the automotive field. So those were cut to size. They were cut to size and then placed, and then the holes drilled in the appropriate place. Now this radio has got the voice module added to it. And once it's installed inside the radio, it's an optional board, then you can hit this button here.
A channel 3145.180 medium power.
And it'll speak out the channel number, the frequency, and the power level. Let's try another channel here.
A channel 1147.210 medium power.
You know, there isn't a lot of punctuation there. It kind of runs the channel number and the frequency together, so you have to have a keen ear to hear the difference. But let me power down the radio and you can hear what it does when it powers up.
A channel 1147.210 medium power. PM off.
Good. And so that's a great radio, and it's giving him good service for like the last year so far. And attached to that we have the Kenwood MC60 desk mic, And I've put over the locking a PTT switch, I've got another plastic shield there with a hole drilled over it. It's held on with the 3M double stick tape. And you can control channel up and down using the rocker switch on the desk mic. And you got normal PTT, and we've got the dynamic mic here, and I've put the dynamic mic in place using some tape just so it doesn't come out of the bracket too easily. And we've got a little optional MFJ mic speaker there that Jim really likes, gives him great sound. So it's kind of Jim's shack. I'll give you a quick tour of the of his antennas outside here. Yeah, plants. So here's his balcony. There's the MFJ apartment antenna, coil, and radiating element. And there's a counterpoise that kind of goes along the side here, and I have it wound up there. And then we've got I believe it's a Comet X30, something like that. It's a dual band VHF UHF antenna held onto the railing. And there's a 220, one of those 300 ohm J poles inside this PVC piping, and that's for the 220 rig. And all those coaxes go through a little hole here in the wall. Antennas work pretty darn good. So that's kind of the quick tour of the 6XCR shack. Operational environment. Got a desk charger here for his radio. And that's about it. Thank you very much for the tour, Jim.
Thank you very much, Bruce, for coming by and bringing my radio, and glad to let people know what we have here.
Okay, 7-3. Bye-bye.
73s, and hope you enjoy it.